Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. It is from a shoot that I did last night with the Nikon Z6 or Z6, depending on where you live. The refresh rate on the LCD is a little chaotic. Sorry for making this video already look like a Kanye West / JZ video. It's pronounced JZ, even if you're in Canada. Tara and Steven said they were uncomfortable in front of the camera, but it turns out that they're actually really awesome. I kind of took that as a mental note just to keep them walking and keep them moving rather than standing static in one spot, but that's usually my style overall. I really like the expressions in this photo, but I don't love the crop. The reason that I did this is because my autofocus point was off to the left and I didn't focus recompose fast enough when I saw that moment happening. I'm hoping eye detection, face detection can solve this, but more on that later.
All right, even like that looks really, really great. And if you guys want to kind of angle in towards each other, and you can put both arms around each other and get really nice and close and cuddly. And if you want to look at each other, you can look at each other. And I'm going to make you hold hands and walk towards me one more time here. And I'll walk into a scooter maybe. That's great. And look at each other and just be unreasonably happy with each other. That was a good unreasonably happy. Yeah, if you guys want to be like kind of almost, I'm going to make you just walk at me right in the center of this.
I'm already noticing with the eye and face detection that it's a little bit challenging working with two people, and I would almost rather just focus recompose with a single point.
I think that's better. And then it's just kind of centered in the in these little lines here to make it all nice and symmetrical. That's great. Perfect. And you know what, even if you want to put an arm around each other while you kind of walk towards me, that looks good. And you can kind of look up at each other and just pretend you're going for a nice little walk here.
The eye face detect does actually keep up when walking, but in situations like this, I almost prefer to have single point autofocus. Here I am kind of using, I guess, one of the specialties that I am on face detect, and I'm up here over my head. It is making my life a lot easier, but it's not really something that I couldn't have done with just single point autofocus. After I got back, I noticed that all the images, for the most part, were sharp or just as sharp as they would have been with my Nikon D850. So there was really no noticeable improvement from the face detect. Here I'm kind of obscuring their faces with some bushes. I don't know why. I kind of like it. It kind of wraps the image and makes it a little bit warmer. I also have the Nikon Z/Z 35mm f1.8, which I have been enjoying so far.
As you're doing there. You know, can I move you like a half step this way? Not completely. That's good there. And you guys can just look at each other and just pretend you're hanging out for some reason. And that's good. Perfect. And even if you want to rest your head kind of on it, yeah, that's good there.
These images are all processed with my 2019 preset. If you're a Patreon member, you have access to it. If not, there's a link in the description below for it. I don't love changing lenses. I wish I had two of these bodies, but I wasn't able to commit that hard yet.
You know, can I have you guys holding hands? And if you start over here, I'm going to have you kind of walking this way across. So if one of you wants to kind of lead exactly like what you're doing there, and just kind of walk this way and just pretend you're going for a little walk. Awesome. And if you guys want to do that going the opposite direction. Yes, perfect. And same deal, one of you kind of has to be a little bit out in front, otherwise I can't see you both. That's good. And you can look at each other like you're just kind of going for... Awesome. Okay. I just have to look because it's taking very fast photos. No, it looks really good. I'm going to make you do it one more time, just coming this way though. And just give a little more distance just so I can see kind of both your faces. And then exactly kind of what you were doing. That looks good. Even if you just want to pause like that for a second, it looks really good too. And you can be looking at each other like you are walking. Perfect. And now you can actually do a few steps.
I'm also shooting everything on auto white balance, which is why everything's a little bit cooler than traditionally my images are.
So if you guys are just on the other side of where the tree branches are, everything just kind of fades to, you know what, even...
Logistically, I find that it's a lot easier to leave the second outfit in the car. So we came back to grab a hat, which is kind of an addition to the first outfit. And then we're going to change. We're going to head into the park. I think that kind of speeds the shoot up. So you're not just like walking around carrying garment bags and all kinds of different things. So I usually set up a spot if I know there's going to be a few outfits that we can go for a loop around, do some photos, come back to the car, change in the car, or change in a washroom located nearby, and then head off to the second location. Here you are in a tree for some reason. I don't know. I'm still abusing the 360 nature of this. It's still fun and interesting. Here's the photo.
so good. Okay. And I'll do one or two more. That looks really great. Hold exactly like that. Amazing. That looks so good. I'm so happy with that. And I'm going to make you guys kind of hold hands, and you can slowly walk because I feel like this ground's a little sketchy. That's good. And if you want to kind of hug his arm like you were doing there, kind of both arms around his arm. Yeah, something like that's nice. And you guys can look at each other and just pretend you're amazing.
This is kind of pre-golden hour. It wasn't really supposed to look like this, but for some reason today, the way everything kind of came together, it all worked out. I really love this natural frame of green space here and the way that even the pathway kind of leads up to it. Everything leads into this image. The sun is at their back, and that's where I like it at this time of the day. So it gives that nice warm wraparound light. And the light overall kind of feels a little bit like California today, where there's a cloud just kind of softly diffusing all the light coming from the sun, and I'm into it.
Amazing. These look so good. And I'm going to make you take a quick little walk that way and turn around and come back towards me one more time. Perfect. And you guys can turn around and come back this way. And same deal as before, just nice and slow, and you guys can look at each other. And perfect.
All right, new location, sun still behind them. Kind of the sun was a little cross, I guess, behind them there, and I was trying to keep them out of the direct sun. Here, the sun is kind of all coming from behind them. We got some nice leading lines. We got some nice natural frames.
I'm going to have you guys out here just so the sun's a little bit on the back of your heads.
When you got nice light like this, you want it actually on them, kind of backlighting room light.
If you want to just kind of cuddle in really nice and close there, you're kind of in this little window. Maybe take a half step this way just so that's good right there. Perfect. And if you guys want to just look at each other again and just pretend you're having a great time, it looks incredible. This is the most green space photo I've taken.
Super happy how all this came together, and it's not something you could really plan. Like, you can't go and scout this location and be like, we're going to do this shot. You just kind of have to let it come together on the day and be prepared and know when to double down on something when it's working.
And I'm going to have you guys one more time just kind of walking just slowly towards me over here. And I might make you do this a few times because this is like the perfect...
I put face detection back on, and it's actually working really well. Even if you're taking photos and take your face away from the viewfinder, it'll still continue to track if you continue to hit the button, which I do like. But overall, I haven't found a huge benefit to just doing single point AFC.
And then just nice and slow again like you've been doing.
This is kind of my safety in case the face detect did not work out at all. End of shoot number 1. Would I buy this camera specifically just for portrait photography? I don't think so. What I would buy it for, and what we'll get into more over the next couple of weeks, is its benefits when it comes to photographing a full wedding day and how much easier it does make specific sections of that wedding day. I don't think that it definitely improves my portrait photography, especially when you're working with more than one person. And the downside is, of course, that there's only one card slot. So on a wedding day, there are drawbacks, and there's no perfect camera, unfortunately. See you next time.